Yeah,
Donnarumma
now,
from PSG.
reputedly, he's the best goalkeeper in the world. I think
Yeah.
his numbers sort of show that. And I watched him on Sunday at Palace, and yeah, he stops and he did some very good stops,
Mm.
as I might say, did our man Dean Henderson. But yeah, he's clearly a great goalkeeper. But Trafford, and I don't know much else about him, but he looked very, very good and secure and confident when he
Mm.
was City's goalkeeper earlier in the season. So
Mm.
I can see why he wants to keep him. Having said that, you could imagine, like any player on the field or in goal, would want to have regular play, particularly if they're highly rated, as Trafford clearly is.
Mm.
As you say, he's been selected as one of the England three before, and I can see he'll want the team. And that kind of happened again at Palace a few last season, early last season, I think, when we had Sam Johnston, who
Mm.
plays for Wolves. They're having a sad season, but not because of him. He's a very good goalkeeper. And we had Dean Henderson, who was then number two at Manchester United.
Mm.
And Glasner decided he preferred Henderson. I think at the time, a lot of fans thought, oh, well, maybe Sam was the better goalkeeper. Not so much because he was better, but he was a bit bigger framed. But Henderson, it turns out, has been an incredible choice because he's like technically England's number two, but most of us think he's England's number one, with due respect to the Everton man, Jason Pickford. But
Mm.
yeah, so I can see why Pep wants to keep him, but maybe he's told him he'll play him in the cup games and other games, not league games, and that gives him an incentive to stay. But
Mm.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up going somewhere, maybe at the end of this season, to be the main goalkeeper because I think he's that good.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, because he has to be good, doesn't he? For him to catch Tuchel's attention,
Yeah,
it has to be good to be included in an England lineup, even if it's just for once. So it's got to be good. Now another thing on City, it says Manchester City accumulated the third highest revenue in the club's history last season, with revenues of 694.1 million. 609. How can that be the highest? I thought these people earned more than these figures. Um,
well, again, I think it depends what constitutes that amount. Well over
yeah.
£500 million. Is that just? I don't believe it can be just pre-season ticket sales, and because they
Mm,
get all sorts of sponsorships, don't they? The clubs, especially the
mm,
top clubs. So
yeah.
it's no wonder, really, no surprise that Manchester City, Liverpool, um, Manchester United have traditionally got the highest sponsorship, and I expect they've given small fortunes to have the names of their companies on the shirts of a top team like that.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know what that amount of money constitutes. But you say it's their third highest ever. Is that what you
Yeah, it's
said?
the third highest revenue in the club's history.
In
So
their club's history?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
in Manchester City's club history. Now,
So they've had higher than that then. So yeah,
yeah,
I would have thought nowadays those top clubs would be generating around £1 million. I would have thought
yeah.
in
I
all the
mean,
respects that they're getting money in.
yeah, I mean, I would have thought that they could have accumulated more when the days when the days when they won the league title,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
might have given them more money. But then they did win the no, they didn't, but they were paid handsomely for being included in the FIFA Club World Cup.
Yeah, the Club World Cup. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
that might have been a boost as well. But then Chelsea won
yeah.
it, so you would have thought
They
Chelsea
did.
would be more. Now, still on Man City. I'm sorry, we just monopolizing Man City. Um, Mamouche, Omar Mamouche, seemed to have just disappeared off the goal scoring radar. What's happened there?
I mean, he was playing, I believe, on Sunday at
Was
Palace.
it? All right.
All I think he came on if he didn't start. Obviously,
Yeah.
he sometimes has played when Haaland was injured and things like that. And that's the thing with Haaland there, and as well as the penalty which he scored another very good headed goal which was crossed, and he sort of headed it across the goalkeeper, super goal. And with him there and his pace, every time he gets the ball, often it's a ball over the top of the defence. You think, well, here's going to come a goal. I mean, he's that good, and he almost puts into the shade any others, front players. Okay, you got your sort of wingers, your wing backs, or whatever, but there's certainly. I mean, is it Sirki? Cherky, I think it is. He was there. Is that his name? Cherky. He was
Yeah.
excellent. They're brilliant footballers. I mean, I'm quite close. I mean, row 5, quite close to the pitch. So we see the speed and just the whole movement of a team like Manchester City. They're
Mm,
so quick. Their attacks are so fast, and once they can release Haaland, it's as good as a goal. Really, I mean, he's that good and that quick and that powerful. And from what I saw, I thought Mamouche was good. I
mm,
think he's shown in the past he can score goals. He's excellent, but somehow Haaland, I won't say puts others in the shade, but because
mm,
they're a great team all round, City. I mean, Pep's building another great team after some changes to the previous great
mm.
one. And yeah, they look sort of unbeatable. I think now they're on Arsenal's heels in second place. I think 2 points behind, if my memory is correct. And something you said earlier about sometimes after Christmas teams fade away a bit after the first and a lot of fans, I think, of football think
Yeah.
that's what Arsenal have done in the last couple of years. They've had very good starts, perhaps not quite as good as their start this season, very
Mm,
good starts. And then after all the games over the Christmas period, over the holiday period, they tend to fade away a bit. And of course, they had a bad loss, didn't they, recently against Aston Villa, I think it was, very late into added on time. And although they won the other day, didn't they? They beat Wolves 2-1, which you might have predicted a higher score for Arsenal there, given that Wolves haven't yet won a game and they still have 2 points.
mm.
Um, so I'm not saying Arsenal are fading. They're too good a team, really, I would have thought. But if they had a couple more iffy results, a couple of draws or something, then you might say, yeah, they're now slipping up a bit. Because at one point they were 6, 7 points ahead, and if they won a particular game, they would have been like 9 points ahead. Well,
Yeah.
that's been whittled back now to 2 points.
Mm,
So yeah, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if Arsenal win. In some ways, I wouldn't mind them winning because it's good to break the domination of the northern teams from the south teams' points of view. But yeah, I think Man City are a difficult club to cope with. And I just what I saw on Sunday tells me it's going to be a close finish this season, provided Arsenal maintain. And of course, up there as well is Sunderland, and well, they've fallen a bit, but Villa are up there. They could challenge as well.
mm.
So yeah,
Yeah. So this is all we've got time for on this segment. Join us again for the next segment we'll be going to shortly, and we're talking about injury-prone Pep Guardiola and also Manchester United's 4-all draw with Bournemouth. We haven't talked about that, and a host of other topics. So join us on the flip side, as we say. I've been
see you
Emmy.
on the other side.
Yeah, see you on the other
Yeah,
side. I've been Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cuz.
and I am Trevor Gear, and he calls me bruv.
Yeah, so see you on the other side.
See you.